Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great New York City shooter that has injured at least one person, multiple people, and has at least killed a one cop, and he's a civilian, as we know. And then we also have CNN with their grateful, with their normal tactic of lying because that's what they do. So a lot more coming out right now. So let's get directly into this. So we're glad the first thing begin here. So we have this here from Newsweek saying Shane Devon Tamara's suicide note says he had CTE, calls out NFL. The gunman who opened fire in NYC skyscraper that is home to the NFL's headquarters on Monday reportedly left a suicide note saying he suffered from chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, and wanted his brain to be studied. The shooting took place in the Manhattan skyscraper where the headquarters of both the NFL and Blackstone, one of the world's largest investment firms, are located. Authorities said the gunman, identified as 27-year-old Shane Devon Tamara of Las Vegas, killed 4 people, including New York City police officer Dario Islam, and wounded a 5th. The gunman died by suicide. Says a suicide note was discovered in the suspect's back pocket that he suffered from CTE, citing an unnamed source with a knowledge of the investigation. The degenerative brain disease has been linked to repeated trauma to the head, including concussions, common in contact sports like football. Symptoms can be used to diagnose CTE in the living, but can only be confirmed through a post-mortem examination of the brain because it requires examination of the brain. So we have that here. It says, football gave me CTE and it caused me to drink a gallon of antifreeze, the note read. You can't go against the NFL. They'll squash you. He says, in a message to employees and provided to Newsweek, the gunman committed an unspeakable act of violence in our building. He said one of our employees was seriously injured in this attack. He is currently in the hospital and in stable condition. NFL staff are at the hospital and we are supporting his family. We believe that all of our employees are otherwise safe and accounted for, and the bailing has nearly been cleared. At news conference on Monday, Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch and said Tamara had a documented mental health history and that his motive remains under investigation. So that's what we have currently so far. We have this here from Nick Sorter saying NYPD details how the shooting unfolded at 345 Park Avenue in New York City and up on floor 33. Multiple calls at 6:28 p.m. Shane Tamara of Las Vegas enters lobby with M4 rifle. Shooter opens fire on NYPD officer, killing him. Security guard hiding behind pillar shot. Another male shot in lobby. Shooter calls elevator. Woman walks out. He lets her live. Shooter goes directly to floor 33. Shooter begins spraying rounds on floor 33. Shooter walks down a hallway before shooting himself in the chest. So we have that here. We have this here from Nick Sorter saying NYPD confirms gunman Shane Tamara drove across the country to NYC from Las Vegas over the past few days. NYPD says there was medication in Tamara's name found in his vehicle, and he has a history of mental illness. The medication found should be made public. So let's go. Let's just view of stuff here.
Second Streets, carrying an M4 rifle in his right hand, he walks towards the building's entrance. That individual was seen exiting the BMW alone. The building's security camera footage shows the shooter enter the lobby, turn right, and immediately open fire on an NYPD officer. He then shoots a woman who took cover behind a pillar and proceeds through the lobby, spraying it with gunfire. He makes his way to the elevator bank, where he shoots a security guard who was taking cover behind the security desk. One additional male is shot in the lobby, per his own statement from the hospital. The shooter then calls the elevator, which opens in the lobby. A female exits that elevator, and he allows her to walk past him unharmed. He goes up to the 33rd floor, which is route and management, and begins to walk the floor, firing rounds as he traveled. One person was struck and killed on that floor. He then proceeds down a hallway and shoots himself in the chest.
All right, so we got the gist of that. So we're gonna go over a bit more stuff as well. We don't need her to explain everything here just because of the actual validity of all this. So again, we have this here. New York City shooter had an associate who will now be questioned by NYPD over massacres that claimed 4 victims. NYC police are looking to question an associate who sold Midtown Manhattan shooter Shane Tamura gun parts that he used to kill 4 people Monday. That's not necessarily fair. Just because you sell somebody a gun does not mean that you should be associated with the crime that they use the gun. That's dumb. That's really, really dumb. Again, it's like, why would this person be a actual suspect? Like, that's like me giving my gun to a person that rightfully had a clear background check and all that stuff, had a good saying mind and all that, and then they go up and unlive someone or kill someone. That's not my fault. I'm not liable for selling a gun to somebody and then they go end up committing an act. It's the same thing with like saying with giving people a knife. Just because you buy or sell somebody a knife doesn't mean that you are liable for when they go and use it to kill someone. That's wild behavior. I don't know why they're even bringing this up. This is really stupid. As NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tesh revealed that the investigators are heading to tomorrow's native Las Vegas to conduct interviews and execute a search warrant at his home. The weapon used, an AR-15 style assault rifle, was assembled by Mr. Tamura using a lower receiver purchased by an associate. We have located that the associate and others, and will be questioning him about that purchase. Chia said in a video update on Tuesday. It has since emerged that Tamura, 27, was arrested for trespassing at the Red Rock Casino Resort in 2023 after allegedly becoming aggressive and refusing to leave, though he was never prosecuted. Chilling surveillance footage shows him dressed in sports coat and buttoned-down shirt, casually stroll into the building, clutching a rifle on Monday. He killed 4 people, etc., etc. This is what we have. NYPD to question person who supplied gun parts to Shane. Yeah. I don't mind them questioning him, right? I have a problem with them trying to arrest or detain them for any other reason because they sold gun parts. That's wild behavior, and that should not be a thing. So this is one of the victims that was killed during this attack. NYPD officer Digital Islam, 33, was working on a corporate security detail Monday at the Midtown skyscraper. He was shot and killed as the gunman entered the building. Islam, a father of 2, was an immigrant from Bangladesh who served as a police officer in New York City for 3 years. The officer's heavily pregnant wife is due to give birth to the couple's 3rd child next month. That is just so sad, man. That's so sad. That is just so sad. We have this here. Alan Etienne, 46, was working on an unarmed security officer and was killed while taking cover behind the security desk. His family members and the building service workers union that represented him, 32BJ, confirmed that he was killed in the rampage. So that's what we have here, and then we have this woman here that was also killed. The gunman then went up to the 33rd floor and killed Rudin employee Julia Hyman, 27, who graduated from Cornell in 2020. Her alma mater said she was a Manhattan native and studied hotel and restaurant administration in college. So yeah, these are the people that were unfortunately deceased. It's very sad that this is going on here. We have an NYC mass shooter, Tamura, found with note blaming NFL for giving him CTE, even though he never played pro football. So yeah, he got CTE doing this, right? So that's what we have here. This is his actual permit here. This is him deceased. And this is also him as a football player, as you can see here. So yeah, he did play football. He didn't play pro football, but he apparently got CTE from playing, college football, what have you. We have this here. NYC shooter Shane Tamura's apparent suicide note reveals he admired CTE documentary and prominent neuroscientists. So yeah, that's what we have here. This is his people, neuroscientists that he wanted to either assassinate or talk to. So yeah, it isn't. So this is what he has here. So yeah, And I think that I think this is a pretty good hallmark. I'm not a fan of the NFL or anything of the sort. I don't really care for the sport in general. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that we're in these times, right? But the point that I have with the NFL is that you watch one of the movies. I think it's made by, um, I think it was either I can't remember the actor, but they did a movie that was about this, and it was a huge thing back in the day, and this is kind of resurfacing a little bit in more of a violent matter. We have this here though. We have a CNN anchor blasted for describing NYC shooter was possibly white.
Corridor
So
and have this person slip out with them. So
Yep.
yes, they have the picture, and they have distributed to everybody on the scene.
All right, all right. John, stay with me. I know you're obviously getting information here in real time as we're talking. Shimon back with us on the phone on the scene. Shimon, you're here. John's reporting that they do know what he looks like. Male, possibly white, mustache, sunglasses in that building, isolated to, they believe, to various locations, including upper floors is where they're focused. What are you learning, Shimon?
yeah, so typical CNN fashion. You just have to keep running away if it's a black person that does it or any other race. It has to be white people, and it's typical. And this guy seems pretty Asian if you ask me. Asian and black by the looks of it. So yeah, I don't know what you're doing there, CNN, but good job on actually failing at your job as you always do and constantly lying. Because this is what CNN does. It's just a propaganda network that hates white people and all of the sort, and they have to, always portray it as a white people bad and black people good. And after, of course, we see the brutal beating of the two white people in Cincinnati, we're really going against the black people are good type deal, which they haven't talked about that yet either, because there's a statement and propaganda to make, so we got to make the right statements. So yeah, that's what we have here so far on this individual. I'll let you know if there's any more. Like, subscribe, share, guys, and take care.